Welcome to week 3 of the Elestriad, where ShadyPenguinn, representing Hephaestus and the Fire Pantheon, is throwing down against IronBoffin, representing Demeter and the Earth Pantheon. Boffin is looking for his first win this week, and even though he's representing Demeter, he is going full-on Voltempest deck this time, while ShadyPenguinn has a collection of various Elestrals from different elements, including Kinleo and Smoltuga, some Wind, Peliquarius, lots of cool stuff mixed in there. Ultimately looking for victory. Let me know who you want to win this one in the comments section below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Elestrals channel so you don't miss out on more Elestriad. Before I dive into the commentary, I do want to make a quick note that these two casters faced off live on IronBoffin's stream, and for some reason Shady's recording was corrupt. Luckily, we were able to still grab the audio from Shady's recording, and then he just played out the cards after the fact, and it's all lined up to make a perfect video. You guys might not have even noticed any difference, but I just want to let you know in case something looks a little weird. With all that said, let's dive into the clash. All right, here we go. IronBoffin looks to be kicking off this clash with a Thunder Spirit going onto the field right away. Is this going to be an Astrabbit play to open it up? And it is. Astrabbit hits the field, allowing Boffin to draw or look at the top 3 cards of his deck and add 1 to his hand. We've actually seen a lot of turn 1 Astrabbits in the Elestriad, and it's no surprise. This card is very, very strong. And I think if you're IronBoffin, you know you want to get those Thunder Spirits onto the field so you can get your Griffuse out. And this gives him a perfect opportunity to do so, because if he can get that Griffuse out, that means Voltempest hits the field even faster, and he can start hitting those burns very, very quickly. ShadyPenguinn is going to have to respond to this, see if he has any sort of removal here that can clear this Astrabbit and give an opportunity to, you know, kind of gain some advantage in the clash here as these two casters get ready to go. Shady's got a Water Spirit. Looks like he's throwing something down real quick here. It is going to be a Smoltuga. Very important, as now he can search out his deck for those Kinleos and have this opportunity to Nexus to or from his Kinleo to destroy an Elestral on the field. Can function in a handful of different ways, but Kinleo is generally the card he wants to grab. But in this context, it looks like he's actually going to grab his Nekruff instead. Nekruff provides him offensive pressure. He may already have the Kinleo in hand. Nekruff provides him that offensive pressure where he can attack, he can knock out a ton of different Elestrals with that 5 attack, and he can deal damage every time he does just that. So it can give him quite the advantage in terms of steamrolling in the clash. So we'll see how this all shakes out with that choice from ShadyPenguinn. And let's see if he has any runes. He's got 2 Wind Spirits going down for the Nectar of the Gods. He's going to be able to draw 2 cards here. Very smart play on Shady's end to cast the Smoltuga first, thin the deck by 1 card, get that Nekruff out of the way, and then draw. Now, you could argue that there's some logic to playing the Nog first, because then you get a little bit more options before casting Smoltuga. But I think when you have Smoltuga, you want to get it on the field, you want to get it into defense position, and you want to kind of start to search for those cards that you need. A Boom Bat comes out for IronBoffin. He's going to be able to disenchant that Boom Bat and pop the Smoltuga, get rid of it. An early game Boom Bat from Boffin. I can see why he'd want to do that. He sets a rune face down. That tells me he's got some sort of an answer to whatever ShadyPenguinn is going to bring to the table as he then attacks with his Astrabbit. Generally, you're not going to make this play unless you feel as though you can protect your rabbit, because it's only got 2 attack, right? So while it hits that 1 spirit of damage, it sometimes is disadvantageous to do that if, you know, you don't have any way to take advantage of it. So here comes a Thunder Spirit to the field for Shady, and we're going to see him go with his own Astrabbit into defense position, opting not to crash the 2 rabbits, but he's going to be able to go look at the top of his deck and grab a card and add it to his hand and further set up his turns. We know he's got that Nekruff. He could have went for an offensive play with Nekruff there, but I think going the defensive route is pretty smart, as he might be searching for various tools in his deck to get where he wants to get to. We're going to see a re-enchant from IronBoffin. I love this play onto his Astrabbit with no back rune, no removal so far shown from Shady. He's got an opportunity here to use Astrabbit's look effect again, and that's the benefit of the receive effect. Every time that Astrabbit receives a Thunder Spirit or more, you get to use this effect again, and that's one of the reasons why Thunder has been so strong in Elestrals, is you have that opportunity to do just that. Shady's got another Thunder Spirit. Are we going to see another rabbit hit the field? No way. It's going to be a Jolton this time. Jolton able to search out those stadiums, and we know Shady's running a handful of different elements this week. We've seen Boffin rocking lots of Thunder. Shady's going to grab the Island of Aeolia to buff the power of his Wind Enchanted Elestrals. Here comes a Wind Spirit, and we're going to see an Ambrosia getting to regen 3 spirits here. It looks like he's got 3 Lycoris that he's going to add to his hand, and he's going to be able to search his deck, and or rather, he's going to add that to his hand, and he's going to, you know, kind of add to his spirit deck and put himself in a much better situation. All right, so it looks like with that Jolt in play in the search for the island, he's not going to play the island. Rather, he's going to pass turn to IronBoffin, who is going to get his Elechick out onto the field. Elechick is going to be able to get that Divine Rune out of his deck. The Zeus is here. This is the exact strategy that IronBoffin wants to execute. Let's do a quick listen in.
Okay. Then with that, I will enchant my Zeus. Now, Judge, I know it's 1 to enchant him, and I can put a total of 3 on him, correct? It's not a total of 4?
So it's 1, then there's a triggered. So then there's a trigger, and the trigger allows you to add up to an additional 3 after you cast him.
So I can have a total of 4 on him.
Correct.
Okay, well, I'm not going to do that anyway, but I just wanted to know.
So that's some really good information there, and why we wanted to include that little soundbite. This was a topic of discussion a few months back with Elestrals development. The way the Divine Runes work is they cost 1 spirit to enchant and cast them, and then they say you can enchant up to 3 Thunder Spirits in this context of Zeus, which means that when you are completed with casting Zeus and using its effect, you can have a total of 4 spirits on your Zeus. That applies to all of the Divine Runes, with Aeolus being the exception. Aeolus can actually go up to 5 spirits because you can enchant it with 4 on its cast. So we're going to see the Elechick take out the Jolt in there with a disenchant from Zeus, if I'm not mistaken. Shady's going to respond on his turn with a Wind Spirit and a Resting on Your Laurels. All those spirits on Boffin's end are going to put him in a position where Shady can take out one of his Elestrals. It's going to be the Elechick that goes down, not the Astrabbit. I'm a little surprised. Oh, he has to go for the Elechick rather, because the Astrabbit has 2 spirits on it. So that was his only choice. I think in an ideal world, you want to take out the Astrabbit. But again, you have to do the least enchanted Elestral on the field. A Wind Spirit comes out. Could this be the Sorlet from Shady? Let's find out. Does he have the Sorlet? It is the Sorlet. That's going to be his opportunity to change the position of this rabbit and potentially get it off the field. And that could be a huge spirit swing, as obviously that rabbit is rocking 2 Thunder Spirits on it. Boffin's going to use a Poison-Tipped Arrow here. Now, this is a situation where I think if you're Boffin, you could actually utilize the Spirit from Astrabbit to cast the Poison-Tipped Arrow. Because if Shady is forced to change the position of Astrabbit with the Expend, which is what he's going to do, you're going to lose your Astrabbit anyway, and you're forcing him to pay that. So in this case, you have the opportunity to save yourself a Spirit by using the Spirit on the field. So just to reiterate, you can cast Counter and Invoke Runes using Spirits on your field. Astrabbit has 2 on it. It only needs 1 to exist. You could have pulled it from the Astrabbit and essentially saved yourself a Spirit there. So that's a fun little tidbit there, Boff. If you watch this after the fact, or any new casters out there learning the game of Elestrals, you definitely want to have that little trick up your sleeve. It could be really advantageous. Shady set has a Rune face down, opts to not attack directly with the Astrabbit. We've got a very close clash here. Shady's sitting at 13, Boffin sitting at 10, and he's going to play the Mount Olympus, even knowing that Shady has Island of Aeolia in his hand. So maybe he's trying to force it out. Maybe he has 2 Olympus. Maybe he just knows it's coming. Maybe he just wants to hit over the rabbit. I'm not sure, but he's going to put out his Boom Bat here, and then he is just going to pass his turn. Is that what happened? He's not going to Disenchanted. He's just going to leave his Boom Bat there with 3 attack. I'm not really sure about that play, because here comes Necrov, and Necrov is going to be able to run this thing over. I'm so confused. Why did he not just go for the Boom Bat play? Maybe it was the only Elestral he had. I think the play there was most certainly to just boom on the Boom Bat, take out the Astrabbit, and then, you know, Shady gets his Necrov out, but you're actually taking less damage if you do that. So I'm a little confused about that play. Maybe I missed something, but definitely a suboptimal play there. Not what you want to do. Is now Boffin's going to take 2 spirits of damage here. You know, obviously 1 from the rabbit and then 1 from the damage from Necrov's effect. So he does still have the Zeus. He does still have some opportunities here to try to climb back in this game offensively. It really comes down to what Shady's face down rune is. We know Shady rocking Hephaestus, Fire Pantheon, has Gorgon's Gaze. That's a card you're going to be looking for here if you're IronBoffin. He's got his Ambrosia, though. That's going to get him right back into the game as well. An opportunity to regenerate 3 spirits from his Underworld back to his Spirit deck and bring this a little bit tighter. Give him a few more options here as Shady's still sitting at 12 spirits in this one. You know, obviously it's going to be very difficult for, you know, Boffin to kind of climb back if he doesn't have enough spirits to do so. I think if you're Boffin, you're looking for a few different things here. You've got your Zeus. You really want to get rid of that Necruf if you can, because this, you know, this Astrabbit's just sitting there. Here comes a Spark It. This is an opportunity for him to rip something out of the hand. This could be the play he wants. There's the Nexus from Spark It, and he's going to be able to take a card out of Shady's hand. He's got an Ambrosia. Shady's going to zoom in for us here. He's going to zoom in real good. Ambrosia, Kinleo, Island of Aeolia. Lots of options here. I think you probably want to take the Kinleo although the island could have some value. You've got the Arrowmare there, and you've got a Circle the Sky. I don't think you're taking that. And then what else? Shady has a really big hand. Another small Tuga. So quite a few options there if you're IronBoffin of what you want to take. He's going to potentially... Does he take the Arrowmare? He's going to take the Arrowmare, it seems. Okay, that's fair. I think I'm probably taking the Kinleo there, or the Ambrosia, one of the two. Tornado's going to blow back this face down rune. Another tip for IronBoffin here. You want to play the Tornado first, because if you play the Tornado first, that's one more card you get to see in Shady's hand, and if that's a crucial card like a Gorgon's Gaze, you can get rid of it, right? The good thing is, Sparkin is sitting at 6 attack because of the Mount Olympus. It's able to attack over the Necruff and deal 1 spirit of damage because it is enchanted with 2 spirits. So, a pretty good opportunity there for IronBoffin to get back into this clash. A couple things he could have done a little bit differently there, but ultimately a good play. Spark coming out, doing some work. Shady's going to be able to immediately cast that Ambrosia and regen 3 spirits back to his spirit deck. This is the 3rd Ambrosia we've seen in this clash, proven to be an important card. Let's do a quick listen in on what ShadyPenguinn's cooking with.
I'm going to use a... Dan, make some cool commentary about this play. I'm going to use a Fire Spirit to play my Stadium, Island of Aeolia. So it's going to get rid of your Stadium.
Yep. So I will just
and it does nothing.
4/1.
Yeah. And then I'm going to use a Fire Spirit to play Kinleo.
Okay.
So I'm going to activate Kinleo's effect, which is you can Nexus up to 2 fire. When you do, destroy and target an opponent's Elestral. So I'm going to Nexus from my island.
What a play.
To, yeah, actually to here.
Yep. And
then I will pop.
Spark it.
Yes.
What a play.
I love it, Shady. I'm going to make some cool commentary about that one. A huge Nexus play from Shady, understanding the misenchanting mechanics, misenchanting his Island of Aeolia, clearing the Mount Olympus so Spark It no longer gets that attack buff, then having the Nexus opportunity to move that Fire Spirit back to Kinleo, pop the Elestral, and then hit for 3. Boffin's down to just 4 spirits to go. He's got a Zeus on field. Shady has a face down rune. There's been a handful of misplays on IronBoffin's end. Can he climb out of this with Shady sitting at 11 spirits at this point in the clash? Another Ambrosia, our 4th of the clash. Both of these casters are rocking Ambrosia and utilizing it to its fullest to hang in here. I know that some high-level players generally think that Ambrosia might be a little overrated. It certainly helps in the context of multi-element decks, but generally it doesn't generate you any card advantage. So some of the top players actually are not running a ton of Ambrosias, believe it or not, but I do think that there's plenty of decks that make the good use of it. The Thunderstorm comes off and blows up the shield of Achilles. It's a little unfortunate to use a Tornado and then a Thunderstorm just to get rid of a shield. So that's something to look back on there. And then another Boombat comes out. He's going to be able to boom into the Kinleo if he wants to. He can also disenchant off Zeus to hit over the Kinleo, and I think that that's going to be his play here. It seems to be the case. It looks like he's going to get rid of his Zeus, buff up his Boombat, and then attack the Kinleo and get rid of that once and for all. And again, this does go back to kind of those earlier turns where he didn't boom on the Boombat. Again, maybe I missed something. I apologize if I did, but he's going to be able to at least hit over at this time and put himself in a situation where, you know, he's down, but he's not out yet. This could be the nail in the coffin. A misenchanted Kinleo hits the field that is stronger than Boombat. He's going to be able to take out the Boombat with the Kinleo, and then Astravic can hit directly and take out one of the spirits from IronBoffin's spirit deck, as Boffin is down to just 1 spirit. He's used 2 Ambrosias. There's not much life left in his deck. He's going to call upon Demeter for some sort of blessing to get him back in it. He's got his Hollow Lycra Spirit and an Arrowmare in defense position. No, he's going to go into attack position, rather, and he's going to try to take something out here. This is his opportunity to take out the Kinleo. He's definitely got to take out the Kinleo, but without any other spirits, he's not going to be able to deal with the Astravet either, and Shady's got 10 spirit. He actually takes out the Astravet. Understanding the Kinleo is misenchanted, it makes sense that he says, you know what, I don't have to worry about Kinleo's effect right now. Let me just deal with that. But let's see what Shady's got in mind. He doesn't, all he has to do is get an Elestral to attack over Arrowmare. He's got a Wind Spirit. He's going to play Aeolus. He's going to be able to search out anything he needs right now. It could be Sorlid. It could be whatever he wants. He can search out an Arrowmare of his own and crash. It's looking like ShadyPenguinn's got this one in the bag. Let's see what he's going to search out for the style points here, as Aeolus gives you that flexibility. Let's do one last listen in.
Okay, so I'll grab Arrowmare.
I knew the pony was gonna cause me more trauma.
I will Wind Spirit Arrowmare, And then yeah, the end game,
yes.
I will crash ponies
Crash ponies. You
and
hate a pony
Kinleo
crash.
vanilla. You hate,
GG's.
dude, you hate a pony crash.
You hate-
GG though,
you
that
hate
was
the pony
dude,
crash.
that was a great game. That was a lot of
good
fun,
games.
man.
Bro, I'm telling you, I put 3 quackles in here for regen.
And you didn't see a quackle?
And I didn't
No!
draw a quackle.
GG's to both casters there. I love seeing some of those really cool plays in this one, including ShadyPenguinn utilizing his Misenchanted Stadium to activate a Nexus with Kinleo. That was Chef's Kiss. That's exactly what we want to see. We saw a few misplays on both sides there. I think there was some things that could have been cleaned up. So hopefully you guys watching this and the casters involved learned a few things and they'll come back next week even stronger. That's what this is all about. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more Elestriad. I'll see you guys soon.